Hello and welcome to the Situationship Expert YouTube channel. I am your host, India Lynn, also known as the Situationship Expert, first on TikTok, now on YouTube. If this is your first time here, thank you for joining me. If this is not your first time here, welcome back. Today's topic is near and dear to me. If you've joined my lives ever, you know that this is something I'm passionate about speaking on, and it is whether or not you are ready for a relationship. Again, whether or not you're ready for a relationship. Are you ready, truly, to spend forever with a person, to start dating a person? Are you truly in the mindset to become one with someone else, right? However deep you want to go, are you ready for all that? And the answer for the majority of people that I've had conversations with is no. And I'm going to break down what I mean by that, because I've had people have mixed reactions to it. Some people were very receptive to this advice, and I am open to all opinions in the comment section. I would hope you keep it respectful, but I know the age we're living in at the same time. So whatever your thoughts on, definitely your thoughts on about this topic are, leave it in the comment section. I'm open to hearing what it is that you have to say, but hear me out. That's all I'm saying. Hear me out, please. Yeah, there's a ton of people out here who want to date, but here are the reasons I feel that you are probably not ready for a relationship. Number one, you're selfish. You are selfish. It's about you. Your world revolves around you. And as a single person, you have the right to have your world revolve around you. I want to make that very, very clear. I understand that and I respect it. And I get that you genuinely do desire someone in your life to make your life feel easier, feel lighter, feel like a breath of fresh air. That's one of the perks of being in a relationship. But if you expect them to wait on your hand and foot every single moment, no, that's not the purpose of being in a relationship. Now, I know a perk for me being a passenger princess. I look forward to that, right? With whomever I'm in a relationship with. You're driving. I am happy that you're driving. Hopefully you are a responsible driver. But beyond that, yes, I look forward to that perk, right? But ultimately, a relationship is about giving and receiving, balanced, right? But you have some people who are like, no, I want you to give, give, give. I'm here to receive, receive, receive. And it's like, okay, well, where are you giving, right? Where are you allowing them to receive things? And I believe that's part of the problem here, is a lot of people are looking for this relationship where they do very little. The person is helping to meet certain needs. Maybe that's needs of intimacy. Maybe it's intimacy not just in the physical sense, but emotional intimacy. Having someone check in on you, someone doing mental checkups with you, someone who is willing to go out of their way for you. Maybe it's to help you move some furniture or pick up some groceries from the store or assist you with things that you need help with. But again, a relationship is not just about what you're receiving, it's about what you are contributing. So be someone that is willing to help in a relationship. Have that mentality before you enter the relationship. Because what I see more often than not is you have a lot of selfish people taking their mentality from being a single person into their relationship. And I'm not saying that there might not be a short period of time where you have that what's the word, that learning curve, right, where you're just so used to just doing you that you forget you're a part of a unit, right? But ultimately, you should be looking to make your partner feel like they are important as much as you are important, that the two of you are important, that it's not about me as much as it's about us, right? How are we supporting one another? How are we being there for one another? There needs to be balance, right? So if you are self-centered, you are not ready for a relationship. What do I mean by self-centered? And again, there's nothing wrong with being selfish as a single person, but being prepared for a relationship means you're willing to go above and beyond, not just surface level things. Again, if you're ready for a relationship, a sign you're ready is to not be self-centered and have a willingness to go above and beyond. Now, if you are not at a place where you're ready to check in with a person, do for someone else, your schedule is more important to you than making the time for people who are important to you, this is probably not the season of your life for a relationship. It doesn't mean that you're never going to be ready for love. It just means right now it doesn't make sense for you to hop into a relationship, because early on, especially the first, I would say, 3 to 6 months, very crucial, but the remainder of that year are extremely important as well, because you're seeing whether or not the two of you make sense long term, at least if that's what your hope is for a long term relationship. Um, so if you are looking for something long term, you need to invest time in this person. Dating is important. Speaking with them is important. So if you're not willing to sacrifice your time and energy and attention in those areas because you're like, my schedule just doesn't allow for me to do that right now, you might not be ready for a relationship. Again, it doesn't mean that your heart isn't desiring for love, because you might desire love, but it doesn't mean that you're prepared to love, if that makes sense. Now, I know there are some people who might say, I have a crazy schedule, but I'm willing to make time. That's a difference, right? There is a difference there, because if you have a crazy schedule, but you're still willing to make the time, to take the time whenever you have the time, then you are ready. This is for people who put their schedules above making time for the person, and they act like the person is a hindrance. You are a problem. This isn't going to work. You're just not ready for a relationship. You're not. Your mindset is not ready. It doesn't make you a bad person. I want to make that clear. Let's not make people villains. This is about saying you just need some time to yourself to evaluate what you need in your life versus the things that you want. Okay, wanting to be in a relationship and being prepared for one are two different things. All right. So yes, number one, you're not going to be selfish. The single ways, that's kind of out the window. I'm just doing me, that's out the window. I don't have time to talk, that's out the window. Right? I don't have time to set up a date or go out the window. Number two, you go above and beyond for that person. Above and beyond is sacrificial, like I just mentioned. But lastly, you are ready to say, okay, I'm open to doing something different. Open to doing something different. What do I mean by that? When I say you're open, it means if your relationship dynamic is different from any other relationship you've ever had, you're not sitting here saying, well, this feels too different, I'm not going to try and move in this direction. Because some people gravitate toward familiarity and they move away from things that are not familiar. So let's say you dated a particular personality type and now you're dating somebody who's very, very different from that personality type. It doesn't make that person bad. They might be the very thing you need, because honestly, a relationship is about having someone not just to have intimacy with or a friendship or a great bond with, right? It's about having someone who's going to help us to grow, someone who's going to challenge our way of thinking, challenge our way of moving, operating, and it might be very different from anything you've ever experienced. And it's usually something beautiful when you meet someone like that, because it gives you an opportunity to change. And if you have an openness for change, an openness to do something different from what you are accustomed to doing, then I would say you're definitely ready for a relationship. If you are not ready to change your ways and your mindset and open to considering a different perspective from your own, you probably are not ready. Now, it's not to say that the things that are of value to you, like your core values, things that are near and dear to your heart, things that you are not easily or quickly willing to compromise in, right? Those areas, I'm not at all saying you need to compromise and things that are near and dear to your heart. But I'm talking about, okay, well, maybe I wasn't open to moving, but now I am. Or perhaps I wasn't open to trying, I don't know, maybe a new hairstyle or new outfits, right? Now I'm open, right? But usually the right person that enters your life will make you feel comfortable enough to explore new things, right? So, all that being said, if you are not ready to let go of your selfish ways, you're not willing to go above and beyond for someone else, or of course, if you're not willing to change, you're not open minded, okay? I would strongly say that you're probably not ready for a relationship. Again, I'm not trying to make you the bad guy here. So please don't sit here and take down lists and notes and say, yes, this is a bad person. Thank you. This was a red flag video. Thank you. Well, yes and no. I would say if you are dating someone and you're seeing signs like this, then yes, you could categorize this as a red flag video. But on the other hand, if you are just getting to know someone, they may genuinely have an interest in you, but they are just not ready to let go of their single habits. And I'm not going to sit here and say you should wait up for that person, but I am saying that doesn't make them a bad person for not being ready to enter a serious relationship with you. It just means, again, they're not ready. And it's okay that they're not ready. It's just not good if they waste your time and they're not ready. Or if you allow them to remain in your life knowing they're not ready. You've listened to the advice and you're still like, and you're like, actually, no, make up your mind. Do you want a relationship with someone serious or not? And someone being serious or not being serious doesn't make them a bad person. Some people have not been educated in this area. That's why I want to make it very clear. Just because you're not ready for a relationship doesn't make you a bad person. Just because you want a relationship and feel ready for a relationship does not make you a better person. It just means you are at different places in your life. The maturity might not be there, or maybe the finances aren't there. Some people have insecurities about their finances and feeling like they don't have enough to provide for the relationship. Maybe they have tons of debt, right? Maybe they have kids and they're trying to learn how to balance co-parenting right now, and this just isn't the season of their life to invite someone else into their life. There are different reasons why people have hesitations for entering a relationship. So I never want to villainize any of those people or individuals. But when someone is playing games with your heart because they're just not ready to be serious, they're not ready to be selfless, they're not ready to go above and beyond for anyone, sacrifice in any capacity, and they're not open to changing some of their ways or old habits, right? That's what I'm referring to in terms of someone truly not being ready for a relationship. But there are many reasons why you might not be ready. Again, that doesn't make you a bad person. It just means you're not ready. And if you are the opposite of the signs that I mentioned, you probably are ready. You just haven't met that person yet. And that's not a bad thing either. All right. That being said, I hope that you enjoyed this episode of the Situationship Expert on YouTube. Again, leave your comments. I want to hear your thoughts on this. I always want it to be respectful, but hey, I have taken so many comments over the years, I shouldn't be surprised at people who disagree. But if you agree, disagree, or indifferent, or you feel like there's something I could have added, definitely let me know. I have no problem trying to make adjustments to something that I definitely could have fixed in terms of the advice that I gave out. But ultimately, this is about you growing. This is about you winning. This is about us all succeeding in terms of finding what makes the most sense for us in terms of love. I want you to have hope, but you can't have hope without education. Too many people are not educated on different ways to approach a relationship. And I am here to hopefully alter that viewpoint and hopefully have a little bit more hope about finding the right person for you during the right season of your life. Okay, that being said, thank you again for joining me on the Situationship Expert YouTube channel. I'm also on TikTok. As I mentioned, I started on TikTok, so if you're not following my account, definitely check it out. But until the next video, take care.